Toni Storm, I swear to God, this woman, every single week that she comes out on television, she is giving me so much meme material, so much material. I'm like, when did this girl take acting classes, man? She completely has been nailing this like Hollywood starlet that has gone, kind of batshit crazy. And it is freaking entertaining. All of her faces. I'm like, how many faces can one person make? You have the same face every week, but yet you're making different facials. Like, that's pretty entertaining to see. So I want to start off with the vignette because during this, we've been seeing these vignettes that she's been doing with RJ City, right? This impossible interview that he's been doing. And during this, she starts kind of like freaking out, having a panic attack about her future and all of the pressure and this and that. And she's choking RJ City. And she even mentions a little bit about her age. And RJ's like, but you're not old. And she's like, I'm timeless. And she starts doing these things with her hands. And she's had this epiphany of about how she's timeless. What'd you think about the she's timeless thing now?
She's so brilliant, man. This has been such an incredible transition, and it's been so seamless from the first promo where she was like, oh, without my title, I'm not a star to you anymore. Am I not enough for you anymore? To now completely unhinged, right? This is so much fun. I feel like I better understand her and Juice Robinson as a couple, to be honest, through all this.
Right, before I didn't get it. I didn't get it before.
In the world. What a riot. Would 10 out of 10 go on a double date with them? This is just a blast. And I love that RJ City's spearheading it, because if you aren't familiar, he had those babyface vignettes that he was doing, those promos on his YouTube back in the day. It's very similar to his babyface character. So him to be anchoring the other side of this, I think, is so much fun. But it's also so different than anything else that's going on in the women's division right now. It's such a refreshing fold-in. And because her in-ring is there to back it up, almost like with Orange Cassidy, when she gets in the ring, you're like, one hip attack and I'm reminded, right? Like, it doesn't take a lot to remind you she's a world-class wrestler despite being this unhinged weirdo. She was hysterical in match today, but these vignettes have been home run after home run after home run. And they've also done the job too of progressing things, right? Like, as funny as they are, we have to remember that the point of these is to move things in a certain direction. And I think they've done that perfectly. So I feel like we're at full on unhinged Toni Storm. This is a blast. And one of my favorite parts of every episode she's on. It's just a blast.
But wait, there's more. So Toni Storm has a match with Sky Blue, and we need to talk about some of the things that they did in this match. More in particular, there was a moment where she was beating up Sky Blue. She was doing her thing. The match was progressing. And then there is a shot where she looks straight into the camera, and she basically says that we'll be right back after these very, very important sponsors. It's a very poor imitation of Toni, but she looks into the camera, she does that, and I'm going, oh my God. That's something I've never seen before. That feels new, and kind of, it's funny as how she took me back to, like, I don't know, the 20s or something, just with the way that she said that and the way that she said that on camera. It reminded me of like those old school shows. And so I really liked that part. And then there was another moment where she was also slapping the tits of Sky Blue right before that commercial break. So it was funny because she not only tossed us to commercial, but she kind of left us with a cliffhanger as, oh, I'm going to be, going at these girls' titties. And then from there on out, there is a moment in this match where she calls for her close-up. So they zoom out, then zoom in, and she has this like moment where she's, posing for her headshot. She looks like she's, doing Vogue or something. She's Madonna. So that was pretty cool too. Then there was another portion of this match, and I don't know how many people caught this one. It was kind of a small moment, but commentary did make a mention to it. There was a part where Toni Storm was grabbing the assets of Sky Blue, and it lasted several seconds. If it would have been like a quick thing, I would have been like, oh, whatever. But they made sure to sell it on commentary. She gets the win here. What did you think of all of these little things that they did in this matchup?
I think it is incredible how quickly she has transitioned. She's getting a ton of credit for the character. Her in-ring acclamation to this character is incredible. This is not badass wild child of the 80s, hard-hitting, hip attack, whatever Toni Storm. Like, she still has a lot of hard-hitting moves, don't get me wrong, but like, to see her be a completely different character and telling completely different stories and acclimating her moveset along with that, I think is some of the most inspired aspects of this whole thing. And don't sleep on it, because that's really tricky. Like, all of the acting stuff is great, but to be able to completely switch up how you act in a ring, from badass to comedic heel right now, and I think eventually face, right? This is just too much fun to not eventually turn into a face thing. It is just incredible. Like, all of those little nuances that you called out, her throwing the shoes on Collision, like having shoes under the ring on pay-per-views and stuff, like it is such a testament to how much care a wrestler takes with their own character to be able to switch things up so drastically and not make it feel like you're watching a completely different person. Like, unbelievable work from her. Loved this. Sky Blue was a good dance partner for this because you kind of knew which way it was going. Thought this was an absolute blast of a match, and just so impressed by the entire presentation and in-ring refresh that she's had in this. What a fun piece of our Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Yes, I agree. Much love to Toni Storm. She is timeless.